Hey everyone, it's Emily here, and it's time for our book discussion on The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. So, this was a book I've already read before. I read it a year or two ago, and I did it for the book club this month, and I have a confession. I had to look up Spark Notes for this book because as I started to read it, I couldn't really remember what the book was about. And I was reading it and I was really, really confused. And I was like, I don't understand what's happening. And yeah, so I had to look up Spark Notes. But then as I was reading that, I was like, okay, yes, I remember this book now. I remember the events and how this all goes. So I did remember. I just needed a little refresher, and it's a little bit embarrassing. But yeah, I'm sorry. And then also another confession is that I think I think maybe just some of these classics just aren't my thing. Like, I enjoyed the book and I appreciate everything that it's saying and I understand why it's a good book and why it's important and all of these things. But just for some reason, I just get really bored. And then I feel guilty because so many of you guys love this book. Like, you love this book. And I'm like, I should love this book too. But then I was bored, but I appreciate it and I understand it and I do like it for those reasons and I feel guilty. I'm sorry. I must just be a bad reader or something. I don't know. But I do have some thoughts that we can discuss. Okay, so the thing that really surprised me is how they view religion. I mean, not how they view religion doesn't really surprise me because, I mean, that's pretty much how it goes in books like this when it comes to religion and how, like, oh, the Bible says we should be this way and they make it so literal and they do things and they interpret it in ways that just make me really angry. But what really surprised me is how, like, they found an abandoned church. And I can't help but wonder, I'm like, are there just not churches? I don't understand. And how, like, even songs like Amazing Grace aren't sung anymore because it's about being free, and it makes me really sad. But I just can't help but wonder, like, do they have churches at all? Do they sing at all? And I don't know, and it's really weird, and I don't know, it was weird. Okay, and so then I also want to talk about the wife, Serena, and just how she's so interesting because she was a gospel singer and she was very vocal about her opinions back in the day and stuff like that, and now look at her life and how miserable she is. And it just makes me realize of how, like, even the people who wanted this didn't realize, I don't think, the extreme it would go, or really what the reality of it would be, and what their life would look like, and how she's so unhappy. And it just kind of shows that, like, even women who wanted it and are, like, higher up in social class still have it really awful, and it's just a bad situation all around. Like, not just for the handmaids, not just for the people, the lower classes, but for everyone. It just sucks. I also really love the line that she said of how were we to know we were happy. Like, she's having these memories and their different complaints and the worries that they had, but she had no clue just like how good they had it. And I think that's just reflective of life in general. Like, we never realize how good we have it until we look back and we're like, wow, that was a really awesome period of time. I really should have appreciated it more. Okay, and also, I really liked the beginning of the book, how there were these tourists and they wanted to take a photo of her, but she said no. And I just really like that because so many times in these future dystopian society books, we never really know what's happening in the outside world. Like, I'm always like, what, did America just destroy itself and the rest of the countries are just sitting back watching, eating popcorn? Like, oh, let's look at how America can mess up now. Like, I'm just curious because they never mention it. And so I just appreciate the fact that they did recognize that, yes, there are other countries still, and they still have their lives. They still do things, and they visit places. So there are places outside of this little country world. Okay, and then I want to hear your thoughts of, like, what do you think happened to Offred at the very end? What do you like? Do you think that she found freedom? Do you think she was captured? Because they don't really tell you what happened, and I'm just curious to hear what you think might have happened. I think the positive, naive side of me wants to say that yes, she found freedom and she had a better life and it was great. But then, so many times in the book, she's like, oh, but this is how reality is. Like, this is how the story actually is. And so I'm like, maybe she actually got caught. So I just want to hear your theories. And then I'm also just really curious of, like, what do you think you would be like, or what you would have done if you were in Offred's position? Like, would you have taken up on the doctor's offer? Would you have taken up affairs? Would you have spoken with, what was it, the commander? Is that his name, the commander? Would you have run off? Would, like, just like when you were faced with these, like, different positions, these different things in life, like, how would you react? Would you react the same way? And all of that. And I also want to hear your opinions on, like, how the women's relationships changed. Because, like, before, you could have friends and stuff, but now it seems like they really couldn't even be friends with each other a whole lot. And just, like, I don't know, it was just really sad that they couldn't even really be friends. And yeah, I just really just want to hear your thoughts in general. Like, because I know so many of you appreciate this book and love this book way more. And so I want to hear your thoughts on it. And so put them please down in the comments, because I want to learn from what you liked about this book. So yeah, those are my thoughts. And next month for August, we are reading Hector and the Search for Happiness. And I'm super excited about that book. And then also in the next week or two, we will be choosing our books for September and October. So please leave your requests down below in the comments, and we will be picking those soon. I will let you know what date in the Facebook group. So yeah, I love your faces, and I'll see you later. Bye!